You guys thought Pug 1 had a mustache. Look at this one, eh?
G'day tubes. Well, it's pissing down rain outside. And I nearly killed myself. So enough of that carrying on. So how's it going, tubes? And we're gonna do a bit of work on the Jeep today here, the one that's inside, I guess, and a bit on the one that's outside, and I'm not working on the one that's outside though. I'm gonna work on pieces for the one outside. How about that? That sounds better. So I got my freaking brake line stuff here, and you can see it. That's the brake line stuff anyhow there. The new stuff. You can see how thick it's supposed to be, eh? It's 5/16, I believe, this stuff. 3/16, pardon my French. 25-foot coil that comes in, so that's pretty handy for like $8 or something, you know. But you can get this stuff, or you can get like the straight line stuff. But this stuff's a nightmare to try to bend around corners, and it's just a nightmare. That's all I say. So, and you can see in the back there, I got this. Oh no, you can't see that. I got this stuff too. You know, the freaking what the heck size of this now? 3/8 stuff. A bit bigger again, eh? So I can't remember what I got that for now, but it was for something, but I can't remember. But no, that was the one I got to replace. Is the one that goes from the axle around the dewey into the wheel on this side. And I can show you exactly what it is on the other Jeep because it's all back there too, right? And I was just going to cheat and if I can get this out of here. Hang on, got to jack you up. There you go. I was going to cheat and do this like that, you know, and then where that distributor block is, like the other line comes in here and then it goes from one side to the other side, right, on the axle. I was just going to screw it in there like this, you know, and then not have rear brakes because really they don't do much anyways. But I thought, no, one of those times you might need it. You might need them rear brakes, you know, and really they don't do anything, but I think they only do like 25% of the braking compared to like the rest is like 75 on the front. But I thought, no, better, I got the materials here, you know, and actually these fittings here, these new ones, they come on that straight stuff. Yeah, there's one here actually, I'll show you. That's just a shorty there that you can buy, and you can see the fittings right on there, right? For frig's sakes, can you focus? There, give you a little idea, you know, and how they work and stuff. The little flare on the end, I'm going to show you how to do all that. And but I thought, no, so I'm going to cut these off here again, and we'll do her right. So I got one little piece here cut. She's a little wonky, but it's all right. And you know, we're gonna try to bend her into this kind of shape, you know, and make her somewhat the same, and then flare these fittings on her, and we'll be awesome. We'll be good to go. So I'll take you in the back and show you these same lines on the other Jeep here, because there's no body. You can see it's all exposed, so that's awesome. So come on back. Okay, so that's the current one I'm working on right now. And what I was just gonna do is with that little loop I made, just there and then whoop around the other side, and then just, you know, not have any rear brakes. But I thought, nah, what the frig, eh? Let's do her. So yeah, that's a nice job there. I couldn't get the friggin' bolt out, frig sakes, so I got no sway bar thing there now, but we can build that again. And yeah, this one's probably gonna need lines too, so I should be making, you know, two at the same time, but we'll wait till she blows. Doesn't look that bad yet, but it looks kind of be deceiving, right? So yeah, it's the same deal, you know, you go over here and then you got the little dewey there that holds the line, I guess, from bouncing around too much, and then back up into that wheel. So I gotta make one of them geysers up too, I guess, and we'll do the same thing. It's kind of nice to have this under here. You can see how she should look, right? Where to bend her and stuff, but I think let's throw the other one just down here, so I think she got maybe a little bit bent up or something, but we'll match her up with that other one, I guess, and see. And then on this machine here today, I wanted to tear apart this freaking drive shaft and see, you know, if we can take a bit of play out of that. But you got to snap off these nuts down here and the keeper thingies, and then she should pop right off. So I guess maybe we'll mess around with some brake lines first and do some flaring. Okay, so I did a little sample piece the other day just messing with a bit of copper here, and I just wanted to show you the difference between what they call a single flare and a double flare. Now this one here is what they call a single flare. You can see how thin the little flare out looks, and inside how it looks. And the other end here is a double flare, and you can see how much fatter it is. See the difference in the fatness? And it's a bit dickered, but I don't know why I did that, but that might have been me. And inside it's a bit thicker too, so that prevents it from possibly blowing itself out of your fitting and stuff under the pressure of the brakes and stuff, right? There's a fair bit of pressure under those, so you always want to use a double flare on anything brake stuff like that, because it's got a lot of pressure under there. So, and yeah, so I'll show you how to do those. I got a cool little tool here for that. Okay, and that's the cool set there, made by CarQuest. Pretty good stuff. And it comes with the clamper pusher Dewey and the thing that holds your pipe, and then the little dies for doing your flares. So you're going to get this thing set up in the vise. Get that ready, and then we'll get a piece of pipe ready here too. Okay, so you want to get the appropriate size for the appropriate size. Of course, you know, 3/8, quarter inch, 5/16, 3/8, half inch, it does up to. And you want to pick your appropriate size for this guy. Sort of says 3/16 on there. And the little pusher Dewey there. Now there's a trick to setting this up right too for how far you put in your stuff here, right? What you do is you put this on there, and you want I'm getting close here. That's too high there, so you want to have that come down just a hair, just underneath that thing. So we still got her a bit too high, so bring her down just a hair. So this thing will actually clear it a bit. So we almost got her too low there now, but that'll probably be okay there, because sometimes if you put still too much up, you get too much of a crazy looking flare there and it doesn't come out the way she should. So now you want to go and tighten all these down. Get your 1/2 inch wrench out there and crank those down, and that'll squash that pipe a bit into that holder there. Okay, tubes, so you want to put this in there so she fits, and feels like I just got a little hair there of a burr, so I gotta get that a little bit smoother. That's better. So you put that on, and then you get your pusher clamper Dewey here, and this fits right down inside here. You can see the little pusher Dewey thing there, right? So you get this underneath, and you push that in there and tighten her up. It's finger tight. And you want to get in there with your, I love the macro stuff, eh? I want to get in there, and then see if I can lower the camera a bit here for you. You can almost see her kind of squishing, right? You want to just push her right down to the bottom. That's it there, and then back her off. And that's made your one flare. You take this piece out now. Don't lose that, because you can't. You have to buy a whole new kit if you lose those bits. So I'll show you what this one looks like. Okay, so that sort of formed that into a bit of a ball, right? Something like the shape of that. And now I'm going to push again and then open her up, and you can see this one has a double line wall in there, right? So we're going to get the little pusher Dewey here again, and put her back on now without that other piece, and then we'll get her pushing. Okay, so you just want to make sure you get this lined up, and then get her screwed right down into the thingy there. And you don't need to go a whole lot with this. Hopefully that's working. You can see her flaring out there a bit now. All this does is expand the wall so the fitting doesn't fit past it, right? And I'll show you the fitting too. That's probably good there. Back her off again. Take her off of there. And you can't really see too much there now. She's flattened in pretty good. So let's go have a look at the how to fitting here. Okay, so there's a fitting that screws into your brake thing, and your line comes in this way, and you can see how it's pushing down on the collar that you just made there, right? So basically all this fitting does is it pushes the line in and holds it to the thing inside there. There, yeah. So inside your brake thingy, whatever, there's the opposite shape of that, and it mushes in against that. So you do have to make sure you have a pretty good seal on them things, or she could possibly leak. She could leak. Okay, so I'm going to unmount this thing out of here now. This thing will actually be stuck in here because it clamps her down so good. But there's our new flare. She's a little bent there, but I'm going to make her worse in a minute. So we got to check our work here, see how we did. So I don't think we're looking too bad. I think that'll probably be good. So once you push that on and tighten her up, she'll squish her in against the other thing on the inside there, and be looking pretty good. Okay, tube, so one thing I suggest you do too is before you go ahead and do your other flare on the other end, make sure you put your other fitting on first, because then if you don't, you got to cut her off and start again. And another kind of cool thing to do is, like I measured this from this, and I thought probably a better idea, you can always put another little bit of a bend in her here, there, everywhere, rather than being too short, because you can't stretch this stuff too much. So it's easier just to put an extra little bend in here and there, you know, and then it's not a big deal. So we're gonna go ahead, and I got my other fitting on, and we're gonna go ahead now and flare this end, and we'll try to bend her to shape, see how close we can get her. Okay, so there's my line. Got two ends on her, as you can see. Oh, two lines. I know I've had some pretty wicked coffee today too. Apologize for that. But have a look at this end here. I did a freaking awesome job on this one. Check out this crap, eh? Yeah, I freaking did that. There's that end. Freaking right I did. Okay, so now we got to try to sort of bend this sort of you know, this shape. This one's not too bad. There's one sort of sharpie bend right there, which sort of sucks, that goes into the wheel, but yeah. But this stuff is easier to bend, a lot better, easier to bend than the stuff you can buy in straight pieces. This stuff, it just freaking kinks. This is horrible stuff. So I mean, this stuff will kink too. It will kink too, but you gotta be, you got a little bit more flexibility in it, kind of thing, eh? Because it comes in a freaking, well, you see, it comes bent anyways, so you know, she's not that bad. So there's no real easy way. I guess you could probably buy yourself a bender or something, but I don't got one of those. Try to find something, you know, like a pipe or something, you know, that's somewhat that shape that you can just slowly bend it around that pipe, right? So whatever size of pipe that would be, I don't know, 3/8. Oh frig, I just blew that up. I'll figure something in. Okay, so there's sort of the first sort of cleaner up a bit, but another thing you want to remember too is you got your fittings on, that's great. Don't start bending it with your fitting here and start bending her there. That sucks. Make sure your fitting stays at the end. So I got her somewhat close to what she looked like before, and of course I'll leave a little bit extra, you know, and if it's too long then you can just, you know, pull this down more and give her another little flex here or there or whatever, you know. So bends pretty good though, you know. I was surprised, but all I did was put it on here and it just slowly make little bends, right? Let me show you. You just start here and then you just, oh, I want to bend here, right? So just go a little wee bit at a time and keep moving. If you go in one spot, I'll show you what will happen there. So there's a pretty good bend there, right? Now what happens if you go in one spot? Well, let me crank this down a bit tighter here. If you just bend her, say right there. Oh crap! Now you dicked her. But you can still breathe through it though. But you have a restriction there, so you want to be careful about that. So remember, just go a little wee bit at a time. Bend it, move it, 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 bend it, move it. You know, just like that. So that looks a little bit better than that one, eh? Holy frig. Alrighty, so there's that one done. And there's the snotty other one, but I don't know if I'm going to do it right now. That's the other one there. It goes from the other thing in this distributor thing right across, and then through that metal bracket. It's bolted to the axle, and then up into the other wheel there. So we're just going to leave that one sit right there for a minute, and we're going to do some work on this drive shaft now.